name is J.E. Hibbard. I am a playwright and performer here in Indianapolis, and I am the author of Ballad of the Book Women, which is going to be playing at Diva Fest this year.
Jay, first question I have for you is, what is something that if the world or others around you knew about yourself would make your life easier?
One that really comes to mind is I have to bag my own groceries. Like, it's so weird. It is just, something that I thought was a personality trait that turns out to be part of OCD. So I've embraced it, but it's so much easier on me. And like, I know that I get death stares when I'm in line trying to bag my own groceries, and it's nothing against, the cashiers, and like, bag people are very helpful when I explain to them it's not you, it's me. I literally just need to know where everything is, because I've had so many, just panic attacks that weren't necessary of like, oh no, did I forget a bag? Did I forget this? Did I do that? And it just makes my life easier that I have to bag my own groceries. I'm not being like picky or persnickety. I just have to. The end.
No, something I've learned lately is it doesn't, whatever, I mean, I guess we can categorize this under a boundary, but the boundaries don't have to make sense to anybody else. Like, it's your boundary. It's what you are setting, and, people can accept it or reject it. That's fine. But regardless, it just has to make sense to you. Okay. Second question. So what's something you wish you knew about other people, a specific someone or people in general, someone you wish you knew but don't currently have a relationship with?
I mainly just want to know what people are thinking. I overanalyze things. Someone can say, oh, I'm fine. And then they turn around and they're like, oh man, it's not fine. And she doesn't, communication, I never really learned how to communicate. Like, I would shut down and, throw tantrums. And as an adult, it's like, oh, I've learned this. But I just wish I could like read people's minds, and like know what they're thinking at all times, just because I feel like it would take away a lot of like second guessing, and it would take away a lot of like weird insecurities or like self-doubt, and just, I'm always like, tell me the truth. Like, I want to know the truth. But if I could just read people's minds, it would be so much easier.
What's the most piece of random information that you think you know?
This is going to show my age. A baloo is a bear. It's just from ISTEP.
Oh, wow. I don't even know if it's true. It's just something that has stuck in my mind because it was on every ISTEP test. A baloo is a bear. That makes me think of Jungle Book.
Right? Blue.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
right?
All right.
A piece of random fact I did learn, though, while doing stuff for this show. So I learned a lot about mules and donkeys and horses. Apparently in Italy, they use mules as nanny animals. It's the cutest thing. If you look it up online, it is adorable. Because in Italy, there's lots of mountains, and they take the animals up into the hills to graze. And the little baby lambs, well, they're like, they can't make it up the hill. So they put the baby lambs in these little saddlebag things that are specially made for them on the back of the mules. And they kind of like fall asleep in there, and the mules walk them up the mountain. Oh. The shepherds take the little babies out, let them graze with their parents, and at the end of the day, they put them back in, and it's the cutest thing.
So did you know, just so I can familiarize the audience, it's just a segment. I'm going to read a random fact, and then we'll discuss it. It could be anything. I don't know what it's going to be.
Oh,
I'm going to pull it from an app that I have on my phone,
Okay.
And then we'll see. So this is the Random Facts app, apparently. And the first thing that popped up is a hug longer than 20 seconds will release chemicals into your body that make you trust the person you're hugging.
So my husband and I do that. Oh my God. So my husband's really cute. It's like if we are having a bad day or just like we're hugging randomly, one of us will just go 1, 2, like count so slow to get to 20 so that we can just keep like hugging each other longer. But yeah, if a 20-second hug, it like triggers the endorphins and all the good happy things in your mind. But it's like that contact, you have to have at least 20 seconds apparently, according to science.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, now that is wonderful. First of all, I think I'm going to use that
Yeah.
in my everyday life. And I see my follow-up question to that is, how do you think you can use that information now that you know it? But you're already using it.
Always, yeah.
You're already
always.
using it.
And with friends and family, it's someone's having a hard time, and hugs. If people are huggers, say, can I give you a hug? It's just, it's that counting, and it usually leads to giggles and stuff, which just releases more endorphins. So
Nice.
it is just that's such a cute fact. I love that came up.
If you want to reiterate just some things about the show and kind of give your call to action, you can do that. Also, just anything you want us to know, closing comments or anything like that, please.
Sure.
The floor is yours.
Well, Ballad of the Book Women, oh my gosh. Ballad of the Book Women opens this Friday. And it really is just a love letter and just a tribute to hundreds of women that I don't even know most of their names. There's some photographs, here and there, and some scrapbooks have survived. And, things are in artifact, enclosures and museums. A lot of this stuff is still in personal collections within families, which I think is really cool. And there are schools and libraries, like University of Kentucky is doing like a whole archival thing that they started, I think, in 2021 about preserving this history. And I think that just as time goes on, we're going to find people of this generation that's coming up. Like showing my age, I'm 40. So I am getting to the point where I'm like, where I feel like our ancestors were like, oh, we've been talking about this shit for years and we've been fighting the same shit that grandma protested, But I really have hope that there's parts of history that are going to live on. And that's kind of what this play is about. Just showing that, how important it is to have community and have books. And even in the worst time of these people's lives, they just came out of a war. They just came out of a market crash. And I feel like it's so relatable because my generation, I went to, I didn't have internet until I was a senior in high school. I went to college. Y2K, people were freaking out about that. And then 9/11 happened. And then a war happened. And all this, just one after the other, after the other, after the other. And it's like, I feel like things just kind of cycle through. And we're going through book bans now. Mm-hmm. We're going through people getting, sensitive about what's in a book. Yeah. And books are knowledge. Books are history, books are fantasy, books are art, books are memoir, books are stories, and to say that one book is more accepted than another book is just well, then you're calling what's art, and who says what's art? Oh, you say what's art? It's art. It's art. It's art, So I just really hope that people still are interested in history. Like you said, you're a history buff, and I just hope that people never lose that hunger to know things, and especially with the internet. And I know a lot of people who are going back to who have gone back to vinyl, who are going back to cassette tapes, who are going back to physical books, who are it's just so awesome. And so this play, I wanted to write it so badly. I'd always wanted to write a historical adaptation about a historical fiction, creative nonfiction type of thing, and throwing the songs in there. People said, well, you could write your own music for this, because I went to school for music. I said, well, you're right, but I feel like I'd be paying a disservice to the women, to the people of the hills, to everybody who could learn how to play banjo at home, who taught each other how to play harmonica, and sung those songs and passed those songs on until they could be recorded in the 20s and 30s, So I'd be doing a disservice to the history and to the people that I'm writing about so passionately if I didn't include the actual traditional, folk songs that they would have been singing on porches and, on the back of their horse and everything. So I'm so passionate about this project. I'm so happy that Fringe accepted it. And I'll tell you, when I sent it off, I was like, well, it's either 50-50, right? It's either gonna get accepted or it's not. And then I'll figure out another place, because I was so passionate about it that I was like, this isn't going to be a piece that sits in my hard drive. This isn't going to be a piece that, I edit for 10 years, because I've done that too, where I just edit a piece or play, within an inch of its life. And this is just, I'm so into this history of these women. I'm so into this story. And I couldn't have done it without the Fringe and without Diva Fest, without Theater Unchained. And thank you so much for having me on and just letting me talk about this, because I think it's so cool, and it's just a cool part of the country that, you know, for many reasons has gotten a bad rap. And it's just, you know, the people never stopped. They never stopped. They kept going, and they figured out a way to survive. And, you know, it's inspiring. And yeah.
That was incredible. Thank you for that.
Oh yeah.
That was beautiful. I love hearing artists and creatives talk about their work.
Thank you.
I think it's the thing that, one, it keeps me going, but just to hear like the passion, because that is exactly what it is. It's this thing that inspires us to do. It's thought provoking. It's all of these elements, and yeah, there are a lot of people, forces out there that are trying to remove or, you know, silence or censor certain things. And I certainly don't agree with that. But I do understand the fear, and we don't have to get into any of that right now. But I just want to say, one, again, thank you for coming on and discussing with myself, and also congratulations just on being accepted. I think that's wonderful. I know that our staff is totally excited to have you. We've been preparing for this for a while now, and I'm really excited to see the show. So thank you, Jay.
Thank you.
It is wonderful, and we will have you again on at some point.
I look forward to it. This is a blast.
All right, and for everyone out there, thank you for tuning in, and we'll be back next time with another special guest. So see you soon.